thank you, Jishita, for doing this. Really means a lot to me and our Yudi Squad community.
Yep.
And congratulations on getting your visa approved.
Thank you.
And super excited to have you on our show. Let's get started.
Let's start.
Yeah, let's do a quick update. Not update. Let's do a quick intro. Where are you from? What do you do right now? Where are you going? And all the fun stuff about you.
Okay, so I'm from Vizag, Andhra Pradesh, so South India. And
Nice.
I'm going to Syracuse University for
Okay.
their information management program. So I got my admit in August. Should I tell you my profile?
Yeah. So what I was gonna do is I was gonna actually ask you, your profile, like GRE, TOEFL, bachelor's in the and if you have any work experience.
Okay, so I did my bachelor's in computer applications, which is a 3-year undergrad degree. And my CGPA was 9.52. My GRE was 316, and I did IELTS and I got 8.5 bands in IELTS.
Got it. Did you say you had 3 years bachelor's?
Yes, 3 years. And I don't have work
So-
experience. I'm going right after my bachelor's.
Okay, this is gonna be interesting because a lot of people are asking me the same question. How did it, like 15 years education and can they
Right.
do after 15-year education? So it's very interesting because
Yeah.
I didn't know this. So now I'm gonna ask you a little bit more question than I thought I would be.
Yeah,
so first,
yeah,
first is what degree did you get? Is it BCA?
It's BCA, yeah, computer applications.
Got it. Okay. Nice. So now tell us, like, how did you manage to get first, is it like did you have a lot of option for 15 years of education, or what's the process for people who have done 15 years of education?
So basically what actually happens is if you go to any consultancy or if you try to join groups or anything, they're going to tell you that there are universities that accept 15 years of education and you should apply to only those, which I didn't do. Because
Okay.
I was not interested in a lot of them, because I didn't want to limit my options just because a university is not explicitly telling me, 15 years we accept or we don't. So
Yeah.
I think how United States, the universities work is that they're not going to tell you a lot of things. They're just going to say, we're going to look at your application, and depending on your application, we're going to, that's how they work. There are some universities that, straight up said, we need 16 years, it's not going to happen. But majority of them say that it depends on your profile. So they're not going to tell you whether it's not a clear cut line. They're just going to say maybe. So
Got it.
So I think a lot of people who have 3 years bachelor's, I would really, really advise them not to go through that. We have a list of universities that accept 15 years. Don't just stick to that, because I didn't stick to that. And when I started mailing...
Okay, that was
Yeah.
my next follow-up question is, like, how did you find out, like, and then assuming that's what you did, like,
Yeah,
you started
so
emailing.
basically what I did was I would put the university and the department and put 3 years bachelor's or something in Google, so that I could be directed to the page where it would say yes we accept or yes we don't. If there's nothing like that, I would mail the universities. And then, so the biggest thing about 15 years is WES. So you need a WES report that certifies that it's equal to a US bachelor's.
Got it. Okay.
So WES gives you that equivalent if your university is NACC A grade or above, and if your scores are in the first division. So if you have these two, then WES says it's equivalent to a US bachelor's degree, because in universities in India are not really standardized. So that's why all of them are not on the same level. My credits are equivalent to a US bachelor's credit, but they're not someone else's. So that's where WES comes in. And I think WES is the main thing. If you have that, then you will probably get into most of the universities.
Got it. Okay. So which all universities did you apply to?
I applied to Syracuse University. I applied to George Mason. I applied to UNC Charlotte, University of South Florida, University of Florida, and University of Maryland, Baltimore.
Got it. And I'm assuming all of these universities accepts 15-year of degree.
So yes, they actually do. All of them do. But again, depends on your profile. So if at that point, that intake, if they had applicants which were better than yours, and then they might go for someone else. They're gonna be like, oh, this one has 4 years of education with work experience. Why would we give it to a person who has? So it's always like you never know.
Yeah. And which masters are you going for?
I'm going for my master's in information management in Syracuse.
Okay, got it. Okay, so obviously you picked Syracuse. Is there any particular reason you chose that?
So Syracuse was the out of bound university for me because of the expense. It's too expensive, and I just applied to it because I like the program. The information management program is like, I think, the best, one of the best in the country, and it's really well structured. So I want to go into consulting or business analytics or financial analytics. So these were my three, and this program allows that. From a person with a technology background to go into something. So I think that was the biggest reason. And reason number 2, which is equally important, is I got a graduate excellence scholarship, because of which I'm
more
able to
important,
afford.
I think.
That's more important. Yeah, I would never go for Syracuse if it wasn't for the scholarship. Never.
Nice. Okay.
So, yeah.
And how much? So I think I've done a video on Syracuse University.
Yeah, with Lavnish.
Yes. Perfect. So how much scholarship did you get?
I got a 30% scholarship on my tuition fee. I think, as far as what I've talked to seniors about in the previous intakes, is my department for this program gives 2 kinds of scholarship. One is a $5,000 scholarship, which the department gives, which I think few people get it, like maybe 10 people, or I guess so. But this graduate excellence scholarship is something which, I talked to a senior and he said there was only one girl that got it from his intake. And usually,
so how? Yeah, I was gonna ask you how did you get it? Like, what did you apply for it?
No, I didn't apply anything separately. It's just they consider everybody that applies.
Oh, okay.
So cool. It's just your university application. That's it. So apparently, further after the graduate excellence scholarship, I can even go into something called an assistantship with a professor. I think I will be considered because I have this scholarship. So there's something called faculty engagement scholar. So everybody who gets this 30% is considered for that. So it's a good opportunity, and I just felt like Syracuse is a
Totally. So 30% scholarship. What does that bring? Where does that tuition fee brings down to?
So the tuition fee is, I think, for 2 years, $50,000, which is still a lot.
That is after your scholarship.
After my scholarship, yep.
Okay. Well, it's not bad. Obviously, if you measure, if you add that 30% back, that's way too much. So that's good.
Yeah.
And how did they let you know that you are selected for the scholarship? Is it just that when you get that admit, that's when they tell you, or is it?
Yeah. So I got a mail along with my admission mail. I got another mail saying that you have been awarded the Graduate Excellence Tuition Scholarship.
Okay. They must really like you. They must like,
I actually even wanted to go to Syracuse from day one, because I was like, you guys believe in me. Everybody was like, 3 years bachelor's, US, no way. And these people were like, we're giving you a scholarship. So
that is awesome. This is so awesome. I'm so sure that this video is gonna inspire all those students who have 15 years of education, and hopefully they won't give up on their dreams.
That was my major, when you approached me, I was like, I really want to get that point out there, because it was hard for me to find information.
Yes.
It was very hard.
Totally. Yeah. I agree. And there are so many of them reached out to me, and I don't know, so I don't know anybody personally, but now I know you personally, so I'm glad that it worked out. Okay, cool. Let's go to your visa interview experience. What was it like?
So getting a visa slot was immensely difficult during spring 2021. For the spring 20, it was difficult, and the Indian visa agents made so much money. I think they're still making so much money. I know people who pay 20,000 rupees for a slot.
What?
Yes, literally. They just took out the money and gave them because they couldn't get a slot. And there's still people who didn't get it now also.
Oh wow.
And the Telegram groups and oh my god. So what happened was I got a slot in Mumbai and I got my biometric in Chennai. So a lot of people.
Interesting.
Yeah, so a lot of people didn't even get the slot in the same place.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So that's how rare it was. So initially I got it in Delhi and Kolkata, and I was so scared to go to Delhi because of the whole COVID, and I was just super scared. And then I got Mumbai and Chennai. Chennai is a bit closer to my place, so I was like, okay, fine. Let me just go because it's super late. I got it on November 19th, which is super late. So I went to Chennai for my biometric interview for a day. I did that. That was basically they just checked my stuff, took my fingerprints, checked my documents, etc. Done. In Chennai, they were very particular with your appointment time. So whenever your appointment time is, that's when you're supposed to go for the biometric, and that's it. So I went for that. That was done. Then I went to Mumbai, and I stayed. Bandra, BKC. I stayed in Sofitel, BKC. And that was my first time being in Mumbai. And I called everyone. I was like, Mumbai is so amazing. And they're like, oh, maybe you haven't seen Mumbai. You're in Bandra. So I said, no, I really like it. So I stayed there. It was the embassy was right opposite. I had an appointment at 10:10, but I went there by 8:30. And they didn't even look at your appointment time. They just allowed whoever came.
Right.
And it was empty. It was like, and the people, there were hardly 10 people with me, I think, in the line. And there was super distancing and everything. So I went in and they told me to keep my passport, I-20 and SEVIS outside. So those 3 documents. So there were different people checking it at each point. So initially, before you enter, there was a security officer checking it. After you enter, there was another lady who checked it, and then you would go and get your body scan and, checking done. And finally, we were at the counters. There was only 2 counters working. So mine was 34 or something. In my section, there were only 2 counters. Right. So we were like in a line, and there was a chair in front of each counter also. So it was like so much of, like you could hear everything because it was so silent.
Oh, right,
You could hear everything. But I think everyone that I saw got accepted, got their visa. Most of them. F1, some of them were H4 dependent visas, everyone. Then it was my turn. A visa officer initially checks your SEVIS everything, initially before the interview. And then again, you go to the interview line. So there's 2 different checkpoints again inside. So I went to the interview point and I had so many documents. Like I was like, if I miss one document, I'm done. And I had so many. And I just went there with my SEVIS, I-20 and passport. I gave it to her. She said, oh, okay, Syracuse, that's nice. Why Syracuse University? So I told her about the program, the coursework, electives, what I want to go into. And then she said, how are you going to fund your master's? Who is going to fund it? I said, my mother is going to do it. She said, what is your mother doing? I told her her profession, and she asked me, what funds do you guys have? And I told her, I'm taking a loan of so-and-so, and she has savings of so-and-so, which was equal to more than, I think, 2 times of my I-20 amount. It was like 2 times of my I-20 amount, the funds.
So, and that is funds or that is loan plus savings? Loan
plus saving. So I made sure that amount was more than, I think it was supposed to be more than 1.5 or something. I made sure it was more than that. I told her.
And did you also mention about your scholarship or no?
I did. She saw my I-20. So after this, she saw my I-20. She said, oh, I see you have a scholarship. And I said, yeah. So I started telling her it's the Graduate Excellence Scholarship, this, that. I try to make it sound really good so that she's super impressed. And she's like, oh, and the visa officer was super sweet. She was listening to everything I was saying. Like she was waiting for me to stop. And I said, And I told her, and then she's like,
Yeah, but
okay.
anyway, they are not getting more people, so they're like, "Arey, chalo, chalo."
Yeah.
We are anyway getting bored.
Oh my
So,
god,
yeah.
some people told me horrifying stories. I thought they were gonna like. I was so scared because I think Hyderabad's consulate is super strict. I think
Yeah.
that's where everybody is like, oh my god. But yeah, and then
I've
she
heard
was like,
that
your
that
visa's
was-
approved.
yeah.
Immediately
Mumbai
after
is
that.
like I've heard that Mumbai is the best.
Yeah, Mumbai is the
immigration.
best.
I mean,
Honestly, even compared to what I've seen in Chennai, Mumbai is the best.
yeah. I need to show this to US Mumbai consulate so that they keep inviting me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you
Anyway,
had an
yeah,
interview with
Yeah, visa officers. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it
anyway,
was like a conversation. I think with her, it was mostly like a conversation. She was listening to everything I said, and she was super fine and super chill, and and then she was like,
so
"Your visa's approved."
after your funding question, was there any other question, or that's why they
No,
said,
she
like-
just said, "Oh, I see you have a scholarship," and she was just looking at it, and I started talking about my scholarship, and that was it. After
okay.
that, she was like, "Your visa's approved." She gave, she gave me the slip, the white slip, and I was like directed out of the office again. And there were all these like, so the opposite to the embassy, there's the Dhirubhai Ambani complex, right? So that's
Yeah.
so there's a tree in front of there where the parents or everybody who comes stands.
Yeah.
So every time someone would walk out, all of them would just rush to that person. What happened is everything. So as soon as I
Yes.
came out, they were all like looking at me. So I noticed that all the other students, they were holding the white slip above so that they know whether it's X. So I didn't know any of that. So I was just walking. I was gonna go back to my hotel, and all of them were like, "Okay, what happened? Is it fine? Is it this?" They
Nice.
were so
Yeah.
nervous. Oh my god.
Well, you get it. I mean, you got it. So
Yeah.
congratulations. When are you flying?
I'm flying on 28th December. I'm going to go to my brother's place, and then I think he'll drive me to
Oh, you have a brother, like a real brother?
yeah,
or cousin?
he's my cousin brother. We stay in the same house from childhood, but then he's my cousin brother. He studied in Virginia Tech, and he's working in Michigan now. So I'll go there, and then
Got it.
probably go.
Got it. And all the house thing figured out, or are you gonna do it when you
Yeah,
get
the house
there?
thing figured out. I was looking for a house. I couldn't find one for a long time because I think spring has, during spring there are very less houses
Yeah.
available. But then I
Correct.
found one, and then I signed the lease, I think, a week ago. So that was done.
Okay, this is and this is initially I just wanted to keep it for visa interview, but I started adding these questions because I think
Right.
it's very helpful for people to understand like how to find house and how to find roommates. So
Yes.
how did you find one?
Syracuse has different platforms. One is it has websites like Orange Housing, which is Syracuse's off-campus housing websites. You can check there. But for me, that didn't help initially because nobody was getting their slots, so nobody was committing to a roommate or like committing to a house. So it didn't. Few of them did, a lot of them did, but I wasn't so sure of doing it because I was like, I'm not gonna get the visa, so I didn't do that. So by the time I got the visa, a lot of the people who were coming in for spring already found their roommates. Everything was done. So the housing websites were pretty much useless. What worked for me was I connected with a lot of seniors in WhatsApp groups. We had WhatsApp groups for the spring coming in students. We had housing groups, and I put a message there that I'm looking for a house. If there's anything available, please tell me. And a lot of them reached out that we have a bedroom available. One person's going, and then you can come in. I'm subletting, etc. So one like that. Few of them reached out to me. Then I would go and look for the contacts. I would look for the +1 315 US numbers, and then message all of them. Do you have a house? Do you have a room available? And so like that, one of my seniors, she reached out to me and she said, yes, we have a room available in my apartment, and it was $360 including Wi-Fi, utilities, everything.
Wow, that's not bad at all. And
Yeah.
360 for your personal bedroom or
Personal
are you gonna
bedroom,
share
yeah,
it?
personal bedroom.
Wow, that is cheap. I mean, that is awesome.
Yeah, so I found that.
$360 for
Yeah,
yeah.
it was
And
really-
you didn't have to worry about finding roommates because you're gonna go and stay with seniors, which is
Exactly,
actually
Yeah, that's
Good thing
actually I
because
think my senior is also in my program. So she's just a 1 year. So she's in my program. It's a 3-bedroom house. So one of her is who I contacted, and she's in. So I think it'd be helpful for me initially when I go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I found a house that way, and yeah, signed the lease and everything.
Nice. Super awesome. Thank you again for doing this.
Yeah, definitely.
Such a wonderful experience, and I 100% feel that this your experience, especially for 15 years, and loan plus funding plus scholarship, everything is gonna help whoever is watching, and hopefully people will comment and even reach out to you if they have any questions. But
Yep,
again,
definitely.
yeah, thank you so much. Stay in touch. Hopefully once you finish your masters and when you start working for, since you said you want to go into consulting, so I'm assuming you'll be working for McKinsey or Deloitte or PwC.
Fingers crossed.
But if you do get it, don't forget me. Please give me one more podcast so that way we can do it.
I would never.
Awesome. Do you have any final words of wisdom, tips?
So just on the 15 years thing, apply to whatever universities you want to. Apply to even Ivy Leagues because they give a lot of scholarships, as I've come to realize. So apply and don't really shy away. Put your mails out there. Probably, you might get into what you really want to get into.
Yeah. Awesome. Until our next one.
Keep smiling, keep hustling.